Oh no.
What happened?
My mortgage company denied me again.
Why?
Because they didn't receive all my documents.
I thought you sent them your papers 3 times.
Yes, I did. And all I'm asking them is to reduce my payment. I don't make the same money that I used to 3 years ago. And I'm scared I'm going to lose my home.
Well, I have a friend who met with the bankruptcy attorney and they were able to wipe out his second mortgage and get his first mortgage to a more affordable payment.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to find a bankruptcy lawyer now.
Hey Becky, I'm glad you came in to see me. There's a new program at the bankruptcy court that requires the mortgage companies to come to mediation. We might be able to get you a new mortgage that would start at a 2% interest rate, going up 1% after 5 years, and right now it's capping out about 4.5%. Additionally, that you don't have any equity in your house, so I can strip your second mortgage and we'll modify the first mortgage and you'll be able to go forward from there.
Will they be able to reduce my principal balance because I owe more than what it's worth?
As long as it's not a VA, FHA, Fannie Mae, or Freddie Mac mortgage, there is a provision in the HAMP program to what they call it principal reduction amounts. I can't promise that, but we're going to try for exactly that. About 16% of the time in this office, we've been able to do just that.
Great, when can we start?
Let's go.
Hi Becky, I'm Liz McCausland. I'm your mediator today. Have you ever been to a mediation?
No.
Okay, so just so you know what's going to happen today, my job as your mediator is to try to get you and your bank to talk about your mortgage.
Okay.
I don't know anything about your case. I don't know anything about the bank's case. I'm simply a neutral party who the court has asked to try to help facilitate the conversation, okay?
Okay.
This will be a little different than some mediations in fact that we mostly stay in the same room. In most mediations, there may be facts that you don't know or the bank doesn't know. In mortgage modifications, a lot of times, we've already given them all the information. You know, you've given them financial disclosures and bank statements, and so there's not a lot that needs to be discussed in separate offices. But if at any time you need to take a break, or if you want to speak to your attorney separately, just let me know and we'll put the bank on hold. They'll be appearing by phone. The court allows them to do that. So who will be on the phone is the attorney and for the bank, and then the bank.
Okay.
Okay? One thing that I want to tell you about mediation is it is a confidential process. What that means is you can't disclose what we talk about to the court, to your friends, to your family, to anyone. Essentially, what we talk about in this room stays here, okay?
Okay.
And I can't tell the court or anyone else unless you tell me that you're going to commit a crime or do something like that, okay? Last thing is, I am an attorney, but I'm not your attorney, so I can't give you legal advice. If you have any legal questions, you need to look to Mr. Branson. Trust me, he knows more than I do about this stuff. So you just need to make sure you ask him your legal questions.
Okay.
If at any time it feels like I'm giving you legal advice, please don't take it that way. I will sometimes ask the bank questions or the bank's attorney questions, and sometimes I know the answers to those questions, but I want you to hear the answers. A lot of times they make their decisions based on the financials that you've given them, and so I'll ask them about that. And if anything's changed or if they've got something wrong, please feel free to speak up. If you want to put them on hold and ask your attorney questions before letting them know anything, just let me know and I'll do that, okay?
Okay.
All right, so Bob, is the bank already on the line?
They are on the line and I can put them on open now. Good afternoon.
Hi. Hi, this is Liz McCausland. I'm your mediator today. Who do I have on the line?
This is Amanda Weiss, and I'm representing ABC Mortgage.
Okay.
And I'm Tammy Smith, and I'm an underwriter at ABC Mortgage.
All right, well, thank you. Before we begin, I'm going to take just a quick roll call. As you know, the court requires that now. And how I like to do that is I like to let everyone in the room kind of introduce themselves so you can get to know their voices and know who's talking. And then we'll go over to you on the phone and let you introduce yourself again, okay? So, Mr. Branson, if you would start.
This is Robert Branson for the borrower.
Becky Smith.
Your borrower. And then who do we have on the line again?
Amanda Weiss for ABC Mortgage. And I'm Tammy Smith, the underwriter at ABC Mortgage.
Okay, is there anyone else listening in?
No.
Okay, and do we expect anyone else to appear?
No.
All right. Well, then I'm going to go ahead and begin the mediation. I'd just like to remind the parties that from this point on, everything that we discuss is confidential. And along those lines, I just want to make sure, are we on a recorded line?
No.
Okay, well, perfect. How I usually like to start my mediations is by asking if you've received all the documents necessary in order to review this loan.
Yes, we have.
Okay, great. And can you tell me, have you reviewed the documents, and does Ms. Smith qualify for a mortgage modification?
Actually, she does. We have run the numbers, and it looks like what we can do is offer a new payment of $1,632.67. That would include a PRA of $125,759.80, and that's going to give us a new UPB of $207,000.
Okay.
And the initial interest rate is going to be 3.375, and the term is going to be 290 months.
Okay, perfect.
Can we put you on hold real quick so I can discuss this with the client?
Sure.
Stand by one, please. Okay, this is great. They're knocking your payment down. This is the mortgage company saying they're going to work with us. They've got all the documents. We're looking pretty good about this. And they're reducing your rate for the life of the loan, which is going to be 290 months.
Okay, real quick, Bob, do you know if your client has made payments to the trustee in an amount greater than what they're proposing?
You know, I'm going to have to go through those numbers and see what we've got here.
Okay.
But I think we have been making payments, and those look like about what we were looking at.
Okay. We didn't hear, though, when the payments will start, did we?
Oh, well, let me get them back on the line.
Okay.
Hey, and Ms. Smith, would you be able to tell us when the first payment would be due?
Let's see, that would be November 1st. And that would be a trial period for 3 months.
It seems like your homeowner has made payments to the trustee in an amount greater than the modified mortgage that's being proposed. Since that's the case, would your investor agree to proceed straight to a permanent modification and just skip the trial payments?
Okay, we're going to go to the private line and discuss this with our clients. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
It does appear that the investor can go straight to a permanent mod.
Oh, great, great. Well, that being the case, and Ms. Smith, do you have any more questions? Okay, that being the case and there being no questions, would you like me to type up a settlement agreement today that you can use to get this approved by the court?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay.
Outstanding.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and type up the settlement report or settlement agreement, and I'll send it over to your offices. If you'll just if both of you will sign it and then send it over to us immediately, so Ms. Smith can sign it while we're here, and we'll make sure that you get a complete settlement agreement. But we really, really, really want to thank you for coming prepared today and for making an offer to Ms. Smith. She's extremely happy with the offer and happy that she gets to stay in her home. And we really appreciate your assistance with this. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, and if you would just sign it and then have your client sign it and then send it back to us while Ms. Smith is here, we'll go ahead and have her sign it while she's here.
Okay, great.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. In this particular mediation, the debtors submitted a complete package. The mortgage company was ready to go forward. They underwrote the loan prior to the mediation, and we got very favorable terms. Not all mediations work out this way. Not all packets are submitted that are complete. They're not so easy. Many have to be continued for further documentation, and at times the mortgage companies, quite frankly, aren't ready by the mediation date. Delays can happen for all sorts of things, but the big thing that we need to know is that mediations do produce good modifications that we can go forward with. Debtors and lenders are accountable to the court and to the program that's been established here. The settlement rate across the bankruptcy court is greater than 75%, and in this office is greater than 90% the last time we ran the numbers.
What you have just witnessed is an example of a perfect loan modification mediation. This was able to occur because debtors' counsel submitted a full financial package to the bank at least 14 days prior to the mediation. The bank and its underwriters, as well as debtors' counsel, had an opportunity to review the package to determine what loan modification would be appropriate to offer the debtors. This works because having the time to get together and talk about the financial packages lets the creditor, the bank, ask questions if needed, and allows the debtor to explain anything that might be unusual and not be apparent from the papers. In the Orlando Division of the Bankruptcy Court, the Loan Modification Mediation Program began to help debtors obtain loan modifications. In Orlando, of the completed mortgage modification mediations, 76% of those debtors have received a loan modification that they found acceptable. Having the bankruptcy court hold the debtors as well as the banks accountable to it for their participation in good faith in the mediation helps make this program work for all parties.
Millions of Americans need their mortgages modified.
Let's do it, one mortgage at a time.